What is up, everyone? It's Mr. Spooner here to teach you about linear equation applications or linear equations in the real world. So I got a few examples and away we go. All right, this is a fun one. I've got a bathtub and I just like to fill it with water because, why wouldn't I? So if it starts with 3 ounces right away, I hope you're seeing that and "Oh," that looks like the y-intercept. That is a value. That is your starting value. It's not going to change. And then it looks like I'm adding 2.5 ounces to it. Hopefully you see that. That is a rate of change. You're thinking that is the slope. So the way I did it here is I actually asked some questions, but I might even skip down to C here because this was pretty easy to grab and turn this into y equals mx plus b. So write an equation that tells how much water will be in the tub after x days. I'm just going to say y equals 2.5x plus 3. 2.5 is how much water I'm adding each day. X is the number of days. 3 is what I start with. So if I want to figure out something like part A here, 7 days, I can just plug it into that equation, 2.5 times 7 plus 3. And that's going to be what? 17.5 plus 3. So you're going to end up with 20.5 ounces of water after 7 days. Um, if you want to figure out how long it'll take to get to 33 ounces, well, you could set that equal to your y. So I could say 33 ounces, because that's going to be how much total water I have, equals 2.5x plus 3. X is what we're solving for here. You can subtract 3, didn't leave a lot of room. 30 equals 2.5x, divide by 2.5, divide by 2.5, and I think that's going to give you with around 12 days. Let's check, just 24 times half, yeah, 12 days. Um, I don't think you have to use the equation here. You could have just figured it out by counting or doing a little multiplication, but I think the equation makes it a little clearer. So how about one like this? Now we've got a negative slope. I know that because we are descending down the world's tallest elevator. I did not fact check this one, so if you want to pause and go to Google and actually figure out what the world's tallest elevator is, by all means, you can know more than I did. This was just a cool picture I got on Google Images. Anyway, here's my starting value. Y equals something plus 151. Here's my slope. I'm going down 3 floors every 2 seconds. So that to me sounds like I'm going down 1.5 floors every 1 second. So it's going to be negative because we're going down 3 halves x. So if you want to know what a negative slope looks like in one of these questions, this is a good example. And then you can figure it out from here. How far after 12 seconds? Well, we can do negative 3 over 2 times 12. But of course, we're still starting 151 floors up. So that would be going down 18 floors from 151. So that looks like we'll be at the 133rd floor. When will we get to the 82nd floor? Well, the 82nd floor is going to be, I don't know, it's going to take us a little while, right? So again here, you could use the equation. Let's try doing this without the equation. So from the 82nd floor to the 151st floor, that's going to be 51 plus 18. That's going to be 69 floors. And we know we go down 3 floors every 23 seconds. So if we divide this by 3, that's going to be 23 of those floor groupings, but it takes every 2 seconds, so we multiply by 2, and that would take you around 46 seconds. So again, you can use the equation or you can think about it. If we had used the equation here, minus 151 minus 151, you'll get the same thing. It's going to be negative 69 divided by negative 1.5. I actually like the way we thought about it here, but again, to each their own. What else do I have? How about something where it's not immediately obvious what the y-intercept is? Here, I base this on the 2018 election. We know that Jim Himes, after 15% has 24,000, after 40% has 64,000. So I might actually do something like this. I might make some ordered pairs. I might say, when we know 15%, he's got 24,000 votes. when we know 40%, he's got 64,000 votes. And here you can actually find the slope. What's my change in y? It's going to be 64K minus 24K over 40 minus 15. So that's going to be 40,000 divided by 25. That's the percent of the precincts reporting, excuse me, and that's going to give you your slope is 16,000. Or maybe it's actually 1,600. Hold on, let me see here a second. Sorry. Let's see, 25 into 400 would be 16,000. Yeah, it's actually going to be, sorry about that, 1,600. And then that tells you how much you're increasing for each precinct. So you could plug this back in and figure out the y-intercept. In this case, we know the y-intercept is going to be 0 because when that's how many votes he gets when there's 0 precincts reporting. So y equals 1,600 x plus our y-intercept is 0. So you don't even need that there. So now what's going to happen when he's got 100 of the precincts reporting? Well, we can just do 1,600 times 100, and that's going to give us 160,000 votes total, which is around how much he got in 2018 to win the House of Representatives election. If our y-intercept wasn't 0, we could have plugged in either one of these points and actually solved for our b, but this time it was pretty easy. I just had a couple more multiple choice questions for you to practice on. If you take a test like the SAT or the ACT, they might ask you to do something like this. So pause the video now, read this, and I'll come back and tell you what the right answer is. All right, you're back. And in this case, we know that 90 is the slope. Why are they writing it as y equals b plus mx in that order? It's just to confuse you. But we know 90 is the monthly service charge, so it's going to be this one right here. Don't mix up your x and y with b's. And then let's do one more multiple choice. Pause the video here. Tell me when you're back. All right, you're back. So here, the 525, that's our slope. That's how much each radio is going to cost to manufacture. The startup cost is going to be 125. The profit earned from the sale of each radio, well, that would take a little bit more figuring out. The average number of radios manufactured, that's not really in this question. And anytime you're looking for the slope, that is going to be the thing that's in front of your input variable. Ooh, what's this about? That little C of R, that's the same as just saying y. We'll learn more about functions in the next chapter, but for now, you can just talk about that as just your output variable. So don't worry about that. It's just the same as y equals mx plus b. All right, hopefully this was helpful. Good luck on the homework.